Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of CLX Foundry Live. I'm your host, DJ Blue PDX. Look, I'm back from the dead. It turns out I can survive certain things. Joining me right now, of course, is our master builder. It is Zach Killingsworth. Paul is on assignment in the jungle. Now, we have a couple really great things happening today. We're going to talk about the giveaway in just a second, but I want to introduce a special guest we've got to talk about some of the things in the giveaway, and that is Tryhard, also known as Jordan, talking about Anthros. Welcome to the show, bud.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. Now, some of you might wonder, what is Anthros? Well, Anthros is a chair. Now, why is it important? Because if you type exclamation giveaway, you realize that you're going to be getting one of these if you're the winner. Now, let's take a look at that entire package right now. We've got a full-blown custom designed PC with, and by the way, I want you guys to take a look at the picture of the PC design at the very top. It's matching the back of the chair. So you get the Anthros chair, the PC, and a Beacon mix crate and a Beacon mic, which means if you're a content creator of any kind, you are going to be set up for success. Now, to find out more about that giveaway, type exclamation giveaway in the chat. This is going to go out to basically, I think it works on every platform. Now, with that being said, I know the thing you guys are looking for, and that's codes. Say it with me, codes. So, what do we get the codes? On Tuesdays, you can grab those codes in our chats over on the Kick side. That's kick.com/CLXgaming. On Thursdays, like today, you can catch that right over here on the Twitch side, which is twitch.tv/CLXgamingtv. You can also find them across our social media. That is YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. You can at CLX Gaming. No, surprising. And you can also possibly find them in our Discord. That's discord.gg/CLXgaming. The other place you can find them is on my stream, and I've got a few codes to catch up with, and we're definitely be doing that today with some Siege. But first, we've got a project, and I forgot to ask who this is for.
This is for Cody.
Cody, all right.
In Ohio.
So, Cody in Ohio. So, okay. I know this is a little bit of a special blend of things, so let's talk about what are we putting in here.
Yes, today we are installing Intel Core i9 14900K. That will be cooled by a Lin Li 360 black liquid cooler. All of that will be installed onto an Asus Strix Z790E gaming Wi-Fi motherboard. We have a total of 32 gigabytes of memory at 6,000 megahertz. We have a 2 terabyte NVMe for our storage device. All of that is going to be installed into a Fantex NV7 Black Edition. We will be cooling everything off with 12 thermal take fans of their RGBs, and we will be powering it all with the EVGA 1000 watts of GT power.
Nice. All right. Awesome. And Zeus Faruku is over here and is in the chat on Twitch. Welcome in. Welcome in. And Lady Death, thank you. I missed you too. G-Code, Temperance, everybody, welcome. I'm glad y'all were able to tolerate me being on for a day. But the upside is I'm feeling healthy. Yes. And I no longer have COVID. I tested negative finally this morning. I'm very happy about this.
Let's go.
Yep, right. And now we're just going to avoid people who are, because my housemate gave it to me. I was just like, what is happening? I went from 0 to, I want to die. It was so fast. It was so fast. On the upside, I did get to finally finish watching all of Battlestar Galactica. So, but that's less important than what we've got right now. Right now, we're going to be putting this entire piece into our NV7. This is a great case. It's got a beautiful upper shroud along with an LED line out that goes in, and it basically it surrounds and emphasizes your motherboard, which Zeus picked a really good one, and we'll talk about that in a second. But first, Tryhard. So yes, you work with Anthros.
Yes, I do. I'm part of I run the gaming division, the video game division of the company.
Nice.
Awesome. Even better.
Yeah.
Even better. So you're the gaming director?
Yeah, so I act as just head of biz dev and partnerships for the company. So talking with pro teams, pro players, inspiring gamers, hardcore, casual, anyone in the gaming esports community. I I've been in it for over 20 years, living and breathing it. So love to chat about it.
I got my first, when it was my first national championship title it was 2015, I think.
Oh,
God,
nice.
was that 9 years ago?
It feels so far. It
Wow.
feels so far, doesn't it?
I know, and yet it's just, I remember jumping. I literally almost ripped my A40s out of the mix amp. Just flipped out. It was great.
That's awesome.
It was kind of nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when it comes to gaming, so let's talk a little bit about you for a second. You obviously have been in competitive gaming for a while. What are some of the games that we would know you from?
So yeah, so my background, I was actually big into sports, early 2000s, late 90s, and I was a baseball player, and I came across a game called Day Defeat, old school Half-Life game, and that really got me into competitive gaming. It was like the best experience I could ever ask for. I went to a LAN center. I didn't even own a computer, and a gentleman there with our CRT monitors and 56K modem. He was like, "Hey, show up on Wednesday, and we're gonna play in a match." And I was like, "What are you talking about? I just want to play some Day Defeat." So I show up Wednesday. He prints out the map, and he has colors for each one of us players, and he put plastic over the map, and he's like, "MG42 is going to go here, sniper here." And it was just like blew my mind.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I'm in this. Built my first PC, saved up my money, and started competing. And it was just so accessible, right? I didn't have to wait for a baseball field, bunch of players, all that. I could just do it in my bedroom, and I got the same experience and feeling of what I was getting on the field. It was just phenomenal. And I just carried on with that. I went over to Counter-Strike when Counter-Strike Source came out. I was a professional now. I competed in the CGS, the old school DirecTV Championship Gaming Series.
That was back when Cody was playing too.
I grew up with Jonathan Wendell Fatality in Missouri, so he was a big injury.
Jonathan, I go, we moved back so far. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so he's a good friend of mine. We both grew up in Missouri, like 20 minutes away from each other. It's a big inspiration to all of us gamers, for what he did. So yeah, man, just living and breathing the space. And I was also the esports director at the first esports stadium in Arlington, Texas. That's what moved me out to Dallas, Texas, the hub of esports. That's kind of where I grew up, coming to Dallas to play. I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, so the middle of the country. And when I went south to play in tournaments in Dallas, it was like, to me, that was the hub of esports. So it was an honor to be able to, be back here working at the esports stadium and driving that. That was early 2019, end of 2018, and then the pandemic happened. And just kind of went back into my roots and started some online leagues and stuff. And now here I am, with Anthros, an amazing product that actually helps our community, helps our people.
Absolutely.
It's exciting. Yeah.
And in fact, we're going to get into a little bit of a detailed run through of what makes these chairs amazing in just a little bit. But right now I want to talk about what's being thrown into here, because Zeus selected some amazing fans. These are Thermaltake Ring 120 millimeter RGB LED fans. And the thing I like about these is they're subtle. They're not, blinding. They're not blinding our RGB. Like the one behind me is, I have got it turned down low, and the camera still just thinks it's so much. But we've got these; they're a wonderful effect. Now, obviously, with the NV7, we've got a little bit of a different layout, and Fantex did a really great job with designing this. Not only do we have an upper power shroud, which allows us to keep that heat away from the rest of the system and independently cool itself, but we've got the opportunity for 12 different fans, and that's without a push-pull on the AIO. So, which is, still could probably be done in this case, I would imagine. But it's the airflow on the MV7s is wild. It's cool. Absolutely wild. So once we get another shot of it, we'll pop in there and take a look at it.
That went together so smoothly too. Yeah. Like that was really impressive.
Of how fast he got it put in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's kind of a master at
it's
this.
So clean.
Like, not even kind of, just is.
Definitely.
So, I'm assuming that you mentioned CSGO. So, yes. I'm going to, or Counter-Strike, and then obviously CSGO following. You're a PC gamer then?
Oh, huge.
So, have you ever built your first PC and how was it when you did it? How confusing did it get?
Oh man, back in the early 2000s, it was very confusing, and I had to have a friend help me out, and it was a Frankenstein computer, right?
Yes.
So there was parts I bought, and then parts he had, because he had a basement just full of different computer parts. And I went down there, and he taught me the ropes of, hooking up all the. I can't remember the actual terminology for the the plugs and stuff, but it was the old school
Cable management.
Yeah, the big wires.
You mean the ribbons?
Yeah,
the ribbons, the IDE.
Dude. Yes.
Discuss the IDEs. Oh my god.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Gives me a headache thinking about it.
I just wanted to play Half-Life. I was like, can this run Half-Life? That's all I care.
Right? Oh, man, Orange Box was. God, Orange Box was just, it was so ahead of its time.
Man,
so ahead of its time.
God, and then when Half-Life 2 came out, that was amazing.
And just in case any developers are watching, we're still waiting for Half-Life 3.
Please.
But that being said, I want to give a shout out over here to IDK on the TikTok side, since I saw the Instagram video about these chairs and they look really great for your back. I'm gonna be honest, yes, I would agree. Garner needs a free PC. Well, I'm not sure how that's gonna happen unless you win the contest. Enter a lot, and there you go.
You got it.
Yep. Sorcerer Von Croy is in the house. We've got Amarillo and Weidman is your first time messages over here on Twitch. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Yeah, and Headstrong, you're not wrong. This is going to be very fast. Or the build's going to be fast, but also Zach's going to be crazy fast. Now, one of the cool things about this board is this is obviously a ROG Strix. And it's a Z790E Wi-Fi. Now, this thing is amazing for multiple different levels. Let's take a look just as we're looking across the top while he's getting all the stickers off. Not only do you have your 4 banks of RAM on the right, you've got a really great heat sink at the very, very top and the bottom. You've got multiple points of access for your M.2s, which we already got a couple in there. I think we've got 5 M.2s. Yeah, there are 5 M.2s on this board alone, which is just wild. Vanilla Condom, welcome in. Glad to see you, my dude. And it's got a thing that I'm going to let Zach talk about. Zach, what's our favorite thing on this board?
We got a button!
There we go.
This is how you get to your graphics card so fast. This is how you borrow your friend's graphics card really quickly.
That's so cool. You don't have to try to find that little thing underneath to pop it out anymore.
Well, and they're so graphics cards these days are so thick. They are thick.
Yeah.
And the button, because I have a button on mine, because I have the Maximus Formula, and that button is life changing.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I got to play with one at where were we at? What was the last place we were at?
We were at Level Up.
We were at Level Up. There we go. Level Up Expo.
We played at Level Up.
And I got to goof off with the button, the Godsend button. Yes, absolutely right. Now, I love the packaging these come in. So let's start off and talk about what's going to actually be powering, what's going to be running this whole thing. And this is going to be an Intel Core i9 14900K processor. Now, there are several different types of processors. Zach, walk us through, first of all the core stuff about this processor.
So the K means that we have the overclock capabilities. That is what K means. Above K would be a KS. S means special edition. That is going to be like the 1% of the 1% for the die used. And then F, funny enough, on Intel means no, it does not come with graphics. So this processor right now does have graphics on board.
Yes. And I have a KF just because I was concerned about heat, and so I was like, well, it reduces it a couple degrees if it doesn't have the die on it. There we go. Downside, my graphics card goes out, I'm screwed. I have no backup aside from my old graphics card. All right. Now, I don't know, do we want to go through the I/O real fast? Or?
Oh, yeah.
let's take a look. Now, one of the cool things about this board is its connectivity, and I absolutely love it. So when you're a gamer or a content creator, one of the biggest things that you have to look out for is all of the things you have to plug in. You've got keyboards, mice, stream decks, Go XLRs, Beacon Mix Creates, mics, keyboards. It's all there. But this has got some really amazing things on it. Let's start at the very top. We've got our HDMI and display port, obviously, down below is your CMOS buttons. And then we've got a smattering of 7 different USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports, 6 Type A and 1 Type C. We've got 4 USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports that are all Type A. Then there's one of them that is a 3.2 Gen 2 by 2. So much to say in a sentence. Why can't they just call it a Super C? Oh, I came up with a new name. Super C. It's the Super C. It is 10 gigs up, 10 gigs down. That is going to be your ultimate transfer speed. If you're going to be using a USB-C dock or a hub of any kind, plug it into that. You got plenty of data. We've got a 2.5 gig LAN port down below there, Wi-Fi 6E, and of course, we're going to have Bluetooth 5.3, if I'm not mistaken. So nice. I dig it. Now I'm going to look. Yeah, it is. We played as Bluetooth 5.3. See, almost started memorizing all this. It's strange.
You're really
like
good at that.
It's almost like having hair again. It's wonderful. So I know that for mine, I didn't understand anything about IO shields, or I got all the parts, and they apparently were supposed to work together, and they did. Once I figured it took me 6 hours to assemble a very basic PC because I kept having to take the motherboard out because of cable management, and eventually I just had rubber bands around things so they didn't touch the board. It was so bad. It was so bad.
You got to do what you got. I put a fan in front of my case before when back in the day, just to keep it cool. So.
My last gaming PC, which was not a CLX PC, well, I'm not going to say who it was, but it was an i9 9900K, and it had a 120 AIO, so a single square with a single fan on either side of it. That was it.
Jeez.
And I had to take the whole glass side and vent it, because this is the one that had the buttons on it. So you unscrew them just a little bit, you pull the top buttons completely off, you unscrew that a little bit, and it leans out. And again, you get a little bitty quiet desk fan.
Yeah.
You get like a little Office Depot $5 fan, and you just kind of hang it from the edge of your desk and pray that it doesn't melt.
Yeah, my video card when I was back, this is like 15 years ago, I had one of those Frankenstein computers, and the video card just kept overheating on me, and I had to just get a fan and just stick it and just hope, it would just keep it as cool as possible.
Yeah. Now, speaking of keeping things cool, let's talk about what Zach just unpackaged. And this is, again, I love these because they're gorgeous. They've also got this really great cap on them. So this is actually going to be a Leon Lee Galahad. It's got an LCD 360. And it is a closed-loop liquid cooler. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'll go through this. There are 3 different ways. There are 3 ways that you can really cool a system. One is called closed loop. And so a closed loop means what, Zach?
This is a closed loop system. All-in-ones are closed loops. That means that they have been vacuum sealed shut. They are not to be opened up ever again, unless someone wants to cut it open or the manufacturer is fixing it. Open loops would be a system that has a radiator, distributor, pumps, all of the fun goodiness, hard or soft tubing, and that allows you to change your fluid out if you want to.
And then there's always the stock standard baseline of air cooling.
Heat sinks, my favorite.
Yep, big heat sinks. If you haven't seen, I didn't realize there were that many different types of fans and heat sinks in existence. And we were at DreamHack Dallas that year, and we're going around looking at all of the different PCs. There's some things that look like they came out of the old Dune movie. It was just like, what? What is that? How does that even work? That's wild. Now, when it comes to your build out, what do you build with Triard? What do you have right now for your system?
Oh, I got a big boy. I got the 4090 video card with the new i9. with the new i9. I have to remember what the exact processor, but it was the newest processor, the Intel i9 processor.
The 14900.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. 32
Nice,
gigs of 6,000 megahertz of DDR5.
Good man.
2 terabytes of M.2. I got my dream computer. Would put it that way. No Frankenstein.
So you're playing vanilla Minecraft on real pretty.
Oh yeah. Counter-Strike 2 is running real smooth, let me tell you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We've done some vintage builds before that were
cool.
Oh god, it was one of those things where we just looked at it and went, huh. Okay.
Turns on.
Yep. And it did. It was like, wow, she was slow.
Man.
I've got it. So
Wow.
I'm on a 13900 KF. I got 64 of the DDR5 6000, and then a 3090 OC from Strix, and my operating system's on a 1 terabyte M.2. My games are on a 4 terabyte M.2. I've got no
That's
actual hard drives in the system, and there's 13 fans in this thing.
Oof.
We did a push pull on the radiator.
That's
and
how you do
I
it.
have to have my green screen pinned against the wall because it sucks the air so fast.
Wow.
It will pull the green screen up against it.
Jeez.
It's absurd.
You got some serious air passage going on there.
But I can get a good 256 frames on Rainbow Six Siege on Ultra. Yeah.
But that looks good.
At 4K.
Yeah.
It's like, what? This is awesome. Now, I'm also a big Siege player, so I love me some Rainbow
I
Six
love
Siege.
Siege. I'm
Oh
a
my
big
gosh.
Siege fan. I've been playing Rainbow Six games since the very first Rainbow Six game. So,
Oh, wow.
And I actually have all the books too. My dad grew me up on Tom Clancy Rainbow Six books. So
They're so
yeah.
good. They read like a video
good.
game.
They were the little fact, they were so good. The government was actually thought he had like some kind of inside information from how they conduct work, and like he's that spot on with his stories. They're so good. Yeah.
Yep. Well, he wanted to be accurate, but they're like, you're super accurate, little
yeah, like you're coming up with these stories and they're so accurate. It's just really cool. I loved it.
And he's in there thinking, this was your plan? Really? That's hilarious.
The shows were great too. The shows were phenomenal as well.
Absolutely.
Big fan of them.
Now, what's also a really good thing to be a fan of is memory, and just like you, this is going to have two 16-gig sticks of DDR5 6000 for a total of 32 gigs. 32 gigs, thanks to our wonderful friends at Kingston. It's Kingston Fury. I love it. I remember, well, my very first gaming event ever before I started shoutcasting across the board was at RTX in 2015, and that was the first place that Rainbow Six Siege showed up for testing. And they had a whole booth there, and none of us could figure out because we were all Halo players. That was that's what I won in with Halo.
Yeah.
But then you start, pushing forward, and I kept trying to play it on Xbox. That was an experience that is mind-numbingly terrifying. But then, when I finally started playing it on PC, it's a whole different world.
Dude,
so were you
good.
ever on console?
No, I got off console pretty quickly I would say right after 64, really. Like, 64 was like my last console that I truly played all the time. I'm a big Nintendo guy. I have every single Nintendo system since regular Nintendo, and when I got done with the N64 GoldenEye, I was so good at that, and then I found the PC. God. Yeah, like the PC with the arm, and like I just felt so immersed into the game. I was like, I can't go back to my thumbs anymore. Like it was over.
I agree.
Yeah, once I was in that.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say once I got into that, it was just like no turning back. I still have consoles I do play casually on, but all my first person and hardcore play is definitely on PC.
Well, speaking of things to do with its hardcore on a PC, let's take a look at what Zach's been prepping. And this is the M.2. Now, this is going to be a 2 terabyte GameX XPG 550. It is an M.2 SSD that's going to go in our top slot. And so 2 terabytes, that's a lot of space. You could actually fit 1.5 copies of Call of Duty on there. Now, Zach, what are some tips when you are installing an M.2 to make sure that you don't have anything that ends up getting funky, melty, or otherwise?
Yes, if we have a nice high-end motherboard like what we do have here, when removing our heat shields to install our M.2s, we always want to remember to peel off our plastic thermal pad peels. That is how the heat gets transferred, and plastic is a negator for transferring heat. So it kind of mutes that heat to help go out to our distributor block here. So keeping that off is very important.
Now, you said distributor block. I want to point this out because this is not something that you see on many motherboards. What is that?
So this M.2 has an actual pipe that goes onto the backside of our pad here. You can see it right there. And that pipe helps to transfer the heat up above our actual big bar so that it helps to actually get the heat out even further away from the motherboard to help chill it off even faster.
That's awesome.
Yeah, truly.
I've never seen one of those.
George Lucas would be so proud.
Yeah, that little heat spreader on top. I'm pretty sure this is the only board I've ever seen with it like that.
Correct.
I think mine has an LED screen. I think there instead of a cooler pipe. But it's an LED. It's a ROG Strix. These things are pretty wild advanced. All right. Now we're going to get over to our actual motherboard, and I'm going to be a responsible individual and turn off my notifications. Because that was awkward. Promise I did this for a living, people. Now, one thing you can see... Thank you. I try. One of the cool things about the NV7 that we really, really love to showcase is I call them assist bands, but they are the Velcro straps that Fantex has put on the back of them to help with cable management, and they are extremely helpful. And Zach's going to tell you about that a little bit later in the show when we are getting into that. The one thing I will point out, though, is as you can see, this case sits a little bit differently. So its rear end is angled while the front end is lower. This is going to provide a little better airflow to get in from behind and really punch that up. Now, the one thing that I know many of you have noticed, and we can see it from this shot right here, is the angle. Now, you might wonder, why would the fans be angled towards the glass? Well, I'll tell you. When you have the input coming in from the rear 4 fans that are closest to us in the back, these fans are going to bring up some fresh air for that graphics card. It's also going to blow air onto the glass. Now, the tempered glass is designed to help dissipate heat as quickly as possible. Keeping the inside of that cooler helps with that dissipation to work faster. On top of that, unlike most, or I'm going to say any PC case I've ever seen, this has 2 different exhaust ports. 2, like a dual fan on the back, which is wild. So, yeah. Now, back to tryhard. Question for you:
Sure.
What games are you playing right now?
Mainly Counter-Strike 2 when I have time with the boys, and then on the Steam Deck, I have a bunch of emulators of the old school games. I've been playing a lot of the Spider-Man games. A big Spider-Man guy. So then Assassin's Creed. When I get a chance, if I'm on the airplane traveling, those are kind of the Steam Deck really comes in handy to play those single player games. But on the PC when I'm with the guys, it's PUBG, Counter-Strike, StarCraft. I'm a big competitor around esports games. So
nice.
Yeah. So you play the real league, Rocket League.
Yeah. I love Rocket League too. Rocket League's a good game. I love League of Legends here and there, but I've broken off from playing that a lot. I barely touch League anymore. It's just a big commitment to play a League of Legends game. Yeah. So, Valorant I don't mess with too much. Not a big fan of all the superpowers. Those superpower games. I think I'm more a raw skill kind of player like Halo. right?
Yeah.
You know, those kind of games. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, Griffball was my Griffball was my mode of expertise. So, speaking of modes of expertise, let's talk about the expertise in sitting your board inside of your system and actually getting it on the right things. So there are little nubbins, I'm calling them, but I believe they're called standoffs. Zach, what do standoffs do?
Correct. Standoffs hold the motherboard up off of the chassis, so we can see underneath our motherboard PCB right here. We got standoffs here, here, and here. On your typical ATX motherboard, we'd be looking at 9 standoffs, and then it kind of goes down from there, depending on what size our motherboard is.
Gotcha. Speaking of sizes, let's talk about some plus ones. Nicole came over here with our first code of the day. It's ones, ONES-YRMZ. You're right, my zebra. Take your hands off. YRMZ is Yellow Romeo Michael Zulu. Those of you who need it. And then Ivory came in, was like, also, let me just go ahead and step it up. We've got an AFIS code, now that's AFYS, and it is 44 Bravo 2. That is 44 Bravo 2. We got some codes out. We're very happy about this. And I got to figure, I believe the AFIS is worth, 50. AFIS is worth 50. There we go. Nice. I dig it. Okay. Now we're getting these all screwed in and mounted on. I know that we've got the person we're actually building this for in the chat, Zach. Let's see here. Where did he go? Cody, where are you? So I'm assuming that you're going to be gaming on this. I have a question for you, Zeus. Are you going to be streaming, gaming, or both? This machine's going to be able to handle anything. Let's be fair.
I've got a
like this is basically 5 seconds from Skynet. Go for it.
Have you dibble-dabbled in the VR world?
Oh yeah. I got the Valve Index. Nice. I had to. I mean, Alex, you know, like I've been dude, that was another moment where I'm like, Valve, you did it again. you just keep impressing me every time you come out with a new version of the game. And they're like, well, we have to, how are we going to blow people's minds? Well, we better put it in VR. Well, we better create our own VR system.
Yeah,
I'm just like, gosh, you guys are so genius over there. And the controllers were amazing. The reload, I don't know if you guys played Alex yet, but man, that was one of the best experiences I've had in a long time.
Alex was astounding. Especially given, like, as much of a fan as we are of the Orange Box games, it was so interesting, so neat to be in there. But that was right about the time that I started phasing out of VR. Not because I didn't find it fun, but because there were more often than not games that didn't run at a higher FPS. Made me sick.
Yeah, same.
And I realized,
until Alex, like, I couldn't mess with VR. I just thought it wasn't there yet, and I didn't want to ruin the experience of like when it does get there. So when that was like mainly the first VR headset I messed with was the Index, and man, I had to wear a headband when I played that game because I was sweating so bad afterwards. It was so intense. I was like, holy crap. And then I went to bed at, and I'm like looking at my phone. I thought I was still in the game. I was like, holy crap, like that game really makes you feel like you're in a simulator afterwards. It's
really, really fun. I actually got over my fear of heights through VR.
That's actually really cool.
I gotta remember the name of it. It was the one that came with the original, what was the thing that Facebook bought?
Quest?
No, before that. There's like the original.
Oculus.
Yeah. I got an Oculus, and I was working at Microsoft at the time, and I would do demos for everything from developers to people who were visiting. And there was a game, and it was the default that came with it. And you were like a cop fighting robots, and it was hilarious but wild. In the second stage of the game, and I did this whenever there was nothing else to do, I would go in there and get in the second stage of the game, and it's on this rooftop, and you're probably 60 stories high, and there's a glass awning, right, that wraps around it. And so I used to have a very very big problem with heights. And so I would because my director walked in and was like, "What are you doing? Getting on my fear of heights." And he looked up at the TV and I'm crawling. I'm on the floor, just kind of scooting over because from my perspective, I'm 60 floors above in the air, even though I know I'm sitting on hardwoods. I know I'm sitting on hardwoods, but it looks like that. And I had to get to a point where I could stand up and keep looking down and then not get all queasy, weird, and
I get sweaty hands. And I feel that.
And then somebody would come and push me over.
I don't have the hardest fear of heights. I've done skydiving, some other things, but I do get like very nervous at sometimes. But yeah, VR is amazing to help with those things. Like when I watched Alex Honnold, I don't really know that guy is a climber, a free solo climber. He doesn't use ropes when he climbs mountains and stuff. I'm just like, my hands are sweating. I can't watch this guy. He's giving me so anxiety.
Skydiving I can do. Skydiving's not a problem for me because there is a way to you've got a parachute. I mean, we learned it in the military. So, but if I'm standing on the edge of a building, the thing that goes through my mind is, what if I get scared? What if a bird hits me? What if the wind starts blowing? What if there's an earthquake? I have zero things to and it's and it's not the falling that's the problem. It's the landing. Because that's usually what kills you. So
yeah, at least you won't feel that one. That one just go quick. Hopefully,
that's gonna be a real fast situation, a real quick end to a moment. Speaking of quick ends, let's talk about all the ends that Zach is tying up right now. So when you open up a case and you get it started, there are case cables. Zach, what are these for? Why are they there?
Yes, so our case cables for this Pacific NV7 is we have some USBs on the front with some audio, and those range from Type 3s and a Type C. And then on the top control panel up here, we have our power buttons and our RGB control buttons. So with this guy, we've got a couple of USBs and our typical HD audio, and then our front panel header. So pretty basic for most 2024 era cases.
Nice. I dig it. One of the things I love the rubber grommets in these cases. They make it easy for it pass through, but it looks clean. It's not some giant gaping hole in the back. Julian over on the Facebook side, yes, glass does dissipate heat. It's interesting how that happens. It's also interesting that glass is barely considered a solid. It's just a very slow moving liquid.
Wow, that's cool. Science is fun.
Like my house is 114 years old, and and I have a bunch of the original windows, and so you can see that where they're wavy and they're getting thicker at the bottom than they are at the top.
So they've melted downwards?
Just it's very, 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 very slow. Yep.
Very cool.
Because back then they didn't temper, they just put it in. You know.
Yeah. They're just happy to have glass back there.
Right? Yes. Back then, I would agree. Let's see here. If I bought the PC pieces, can I ship them to you to build for me? Unfortunately, unfortunately, no. We want to have you select all of the pieces you need. You can do that right actually from our website at clxgaming.com. Yeah, the ripples are real. Because my housemate is a fused glass artist, and he's also a doctor when he's not doing glass work. But he was the one who showed it to me. He's like, dude, this is... And of course, I've watched him heat glass up to a liquid and then stir the colors just to come up with something crazy.
That's
so much fun.
I watched a show on, I think it's on Netflix. Yeah, that's like Glass Masters. Yeah. They have like a certain amount of time to make a sculpture.
Yep.
And like, yeah, it is really cool. Watch these people like...
The things they can pull off.
Yeah, man, phenomenal. I love masters at their own craft.
Speaking of masters at their own craft, I do want to point out, check out this, what he's screwing in right now, those twin fans. I I don't know of any other case that has a twin fan. Zach, have you ever run across anything that's got a twin fan exhaust on the back?
The 1000D, the Obsidian 1000, Corsair's Obsidian 1000D.
Is the only other one that has it that we know of?
That we operate with here at the shop.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. I'm gonna dig it. Was getting that all up there. I did want to talk about something else when it comes to, when it comes to comfortability. Now, you obviously love brands that you want to work with brands that you can endorse and enjoy. So, what was it that first caught your eye about the Anthros chair?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So, like, when I was approached by Anthros, Steve and Eric, the founders, they showed me legitimately a mock-up, like a render of the chair. And, I was expecting to see another race car chair, and I didn't. And when I saw, what is behind me, the two-piece back, I was like, whoa, that's really interesting. Tell me more. And then the story of the company was even more intriguing. It's people that have been building wheelchairs for differently enabled people for 30 years, and they know how people sit, even when you don't even feel your body. So, like what you're talking about by sliding forward, that creates shear, right? And that's a thing that is not good, and it's really bad, and it can hurt your body over time.
So, formerly as a former occupational therapist and massage therapist, what we're talking about, I was mentioning that my chair, one of the things that drives me nuts is the fact that I always feel like I'm sliding forward. My butt's going like this. And you'll notice this. Anybody who drives a car will notice this. You may have great ergonomics in your car, but as you drive, you'll notice that your hips start coming forward. It's because anytime you're in a potential risk situation, your body goes into fight or flight. It's trying to get to the fetal position. That's the same thing. If you're just jamming, all of a sudden you're going to do this, and you're lowering your chair, and you're just kind of sinking and moving your hips forward. Well, if the chair helps push your hips forward, then that's going to be more oftentimes that you find yourself like that. And that will cause anything from excess strain in your lumbar spine to an overstretched, erector spinae. And these are all important pieces, and especially when you consider how your hips work and you're sitting on them constantly, you've got to have really great support. The chair I have has some lumbar, but the lumbar is, apparently I have really tall hips. The lumbar isn't right where I need it because I have a fused spine. And so my support might be different than somebody else's. But you have a two-piece back there.
Yeah. So the why
does it come with a biscuit?
So and why that, and another way you could find out if that is happening to you is a lot of times, when you stand up and your pants are like pulled all the way, like you feel like you have a wedgie, that's the same feeling. If you're getting that while you're sitting, that's not good. That means you're sliding out of your chair. You're going into a really bad position for your body that is not going to sustain you over a long time and hurt your body. The two-piece is the first chair that comes to you. You don't go to the chair. And that's the problem with a lot of chairs. When you sit on it, it goes like this. That's it. That's the back. Yeah. Right? Yep. And that's not with this one. This one, actually, the back comes to you just like a shoe. Everyone has their feet different size. This chair, it's you set it up for you and you only. So when you get out of it, it fits your body. So you have to adjust it every time you sit in it, depending on who's in it.
So that lower bar isn't actually stationary. It moves. It can go up and down, forward, backward.
Just forward, backwards. Actually, it's actually not a. A lot of people use the word lumbar. It's actually a pelvis support. So the pelvis, yeah. So the pelvis is actually in the same, general area than everyone's human body. I'm learning a lot more about the human body from a gamer's perspective, but the pelvis is the most important part to support on the lower part of your body. If you have that straight, it allows you to have your arm movability, allows you to breathe better, it allows you to speak better, to be more aware. So what the lower part of the back pelvis support does, it pushes your pelvis forward where you need it. Some people need a lot of support, some people don't. Everyone's body's different. So once you get that into play, then you move the top part here and then that comes forward and supports your upper body. So you can sit in a perfect, like me, in a perfect position, a perfect posture without even trying. You don't even have, your muscles are just kind of they're not strained out. They're being supported. It's not like you're deactivating your muscles. It's more just like they're finally getting supported the way they need to be supported to sit for a long period of time.
Honestly, it's a brilliant design. It's a brilliant design.
Yeah.
We'll jump into that in a little bit more in just a second. But first, let's talk about power, because everything needs to be powered by something. I know, right? My segues. This is going to be powered by a 1,000 watt EVGA Supernova G5 80 Plus Gold. Now, here is the fun thing about this power supply. Zach, what kind of a power supply is it?
This is a modular power supply, so that means we can do with it whatever we want. That's why I have all of these funness over here onto the side, so I can attach only what I need and not what I don't.
So, are there other types of power supplies?
Yes, the other type of power supply would be a non-modular power supply, and that would be all of the cables would be attached to it. There are a couple of different types of other power supplies, but those would be different like sizes. Just like motherboards, there are different sizes of power supplies for cases.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've got modular, semi-modular, and non-modular.
I remember non-modular very well.
Yep. We used to, I will say this: when I lived in a really sketchy neighborhood and I had an old power supply, it was definitely non-modular. This was long ago. I would sit it by the front door, so that in the event something crazy was going to happen, if it was going to get a little bit wild outside of my apartment, I could just come swinging. Just swing it in a circle. People are like, "Okay, you are unhinged, and we're out."
Is that a piece of metal with wire? We're out.
Yeah. Just nope. We're not doing this today.
modern base.
Rick, where did you get it?
Right? Basically, yeah, exactly. Now, we got CR over on the YouTube side says no neck support.
Yeah, so we are not focusing on there could be in the future where an attachment to the chair will come up and give you a head support from the spine, but the way we see this is as a performance chair. So when you're performing, you're not trying to sleep, you're not trying to have comfort and just like laying there, right? Like a lot of chairs. When you're performing, you need to have awareness and focus, right? And when you're sitting in a perfect posture, your head is perfectly like supported from your body. So when you stand up, right, and if you're standing there straight, you don't need head support, because you're standing with perfect posture, your body's aligned.
Yep.
There is a really cool tilt mechanism, which is like my favorite. So there's a tilting, and it'll allow you to tilt backwards like this and still sit in a perfect posture. And it's just like the coolest feeling.
Yeah.
It's kind of like zero gravity in a sense.
Quick. No. Weightlifter 76 is so excited to be getting a CLX gaming PC. Can't wait. Yo, that's awesome. Thank you so much. That is good to hear. Good to hear. Villanelle Condom says, so the time for barbed wires and bats is over, I guess. I found out it's actually illegal to modify a bat, at least in Oregon.
Wow.
So don't do some Left 4 Dead Dying Light.
You can't make Lucille?
Yeah, no, you cannot make Lucille from it is a big no, because I was joking about it in front of the neighbors who live 2 houses down, and he was like, no, and more no. You can't do that. Yeah. I was like, I was gonna saw the end of the handle off and shove a bunch of D batteries in there with some wiring, and then he said, that is absolutely 100% illegal. You should never even, no. But I'll tell you what you should do. What you should do is get yourself an Asus ROG Strix GeForce 4090 OC edition.
Gosh,
now this is a big, fat, thick card. And I mean thick as thick. So when it comes to weight on these, how heavy is this? I'm assuming Strixes are usually pretty solid.
If I had to weigh this, it would be 5 bags of beaver nuggets from Buc-ee's.
I'm going to be honest, that is the most uniquely unexpected weight reference I have ever heard in my entire life.
You've never referenced Strix graphics cards to beaver nuggets from Buc-ee's?
No, because I have never had beaver nuggets from Buc-ee's.
They're delicious.
Yeah. Yes.
Do they have Buc-ee's around here?
No, it's only a Texas thing, I think. Is it?
Dang it.
It's only a Texas thing.
Yeah, we have biggest gas station in the world.
That's
like,
amazing.
Yeah, it's like 80 gas pumps or something. Or
What?
100 gas
Oh,
pumps.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a
is
it's
this-
like a Walmart.
It's the
Is
best
this in the
experience
desert, like,
ever.
area?
No, this
It's
is
like yeah, they're all outside of like there's one like 20 minutes away from me, 30 minutes away from me on 35 highway.
every
Just
day.
right off the
I
yeah.
would be eating there every day.
I remember when first time I drove across the country and I went the southern route, as you're coming across, because I was stationed over in Virginia, and as I came across, there's these signs, and it happens on I-84, or if you go down south heading into Texas, across, the lower states, there are signs where it says, last stop for gas for 300 miles. And all I could think of is, what if you've got a V8 and not a big enough tank? How does that work? And there's this one stop somewhere in the middle of nowhere that somebody has to drive 45 minutes to just to go to work, and you walk in there and it's I've seen DMV employees happier than those people, and that's saying something.
That is saying a lot. Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Now, this is a great one. First of all, let's take a look at the back plate. Strix has done an incredible job at decorating their cards. They look fantastic. They are definitely weigh a ton, but there's a reason, because the way that they cool is very unique. Zach?
Yeah, the whole thing is essentially a heat sink. We can look right here at our picture, right here where my finger is at. That is the end of the control board. That is the PCB goes out to here. So this is our graphics card. That goes all the way solid to the second fan. So this entire third fan is literally just a straight through piping. Yeah, you can see the pipes in there. It's pretty nice, cool system. So everything about this is just meant to blast 24, right? Yeah, 24 gigabits.
Yeah, 24 gigs. Yep.
Yeah.
Weightlifter mentioned I'm a COD player, and I've been told once you go PC, you won't go back. Oh yeah,
100%.
I won my championship on a controller on Xbox, and when I was finally challenged or basically shamed into going PC, it was night and day, absolutely night and day. And it turns out I'm better on PC than I ever was with a controller. But that's also player dependent.
Mm-hmm.
It is how you process eye-hand coordination and proprioception. Because for some people, it is a lot easier, especially if you talk with your hands a lot. You're going to be doing well with a mouse and a keyboard. Granted, having a good mouse and having a good keyboard is also important. But there are some people whose thought process is more linear, and that's not a bad thing. But that is where the sticks come in, and they understand that the side movement and rotation to such a degree that they can literally spin in circles and always look backwards.
Also, the refresh rate is a big one for console players now.
Yeah.
You can't get the refresh rate you can off a Xbox or a PlayStation like you can a PC.
Yeah.
And you can hook a controller up to a PC. So essentially, you're getting better performance through a PC, like internet, monitor, refresh rate, FPS, all that stuff. So
I have my Elite 2 right here.
Yep.
It sits right just in case I need it. There's some games that are on PC that are just designed for buddy, I see it.
Yep.
They're just designed for controller. Like the Batman games are just better on controller. God of War was better with a controller. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Really good. Yeah. No, I'm a believer, and I actually am really impressed with COD pros on controllers. Like, they blow my mind on some of the stuff they do. I just can't get into the same feeling I can with a mouse and keyboard, but even FGC players are now going to PC because Steam has, Street Fighter 6, Tekken, and you can play online and still get better performance than just buying a PlayStation 5. So I feel like consoles are, in the next 5-10 years, are going to probably be pretty close to extinct.
I'll tell you what's not close to extinct. The brand new code that Ivory just dropped in the chat. It is Ryzen RYZN-22GG. 22, get good. Or 22, good game. Or 22, get grapes.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, it's so gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. Dude, this guy, whoever's watching right now, is so lucky. Like, I wish I had my PC built on stream. This is like the coolest experience ever.
Yeah. And
Holy
it just pops right in there. Zach, so you'll hear an audible click once it's finally seated correctly, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And you shouldn't be able to pull it back out.
No. You'll have to push the button to release it from here.
Now, here's the one thing that I do want to point out, and that's something that we're going to be installing here shortly, and that is an anti-sag bracket. So, for those who don't understand what an anti-sag bracket or anti-sag device is, Zach, what are they and why are they important to certain cards?
So, this case, Fantex comes with a really nice L bracket here. It's actually a Z bracket. And it mounts directly onto the back of the case. So we have secure, solid mount to the case itself, and then the graphics card can sit right on it. We're not like lifting the graphics card up or anything. Essentially, we just want a little ledge or a lip or something. Sometimes the other one you'll see will just be a little L bracket like this. This is big enough to hold the weight and to keep the card from sagging down. But essentially what happens is, you see how this is just my finger. I'm just subtly pushing down. So what this does is this just stops that and keeps it firm in its location to where it won't sag over time, cause any damage to our PCI bracket slot. Sorry.
Nice. We did get a request from Zeus, who you're making this for. He wants you to sign it somewhere.
Nice. We can do that.
That's cool.
Definitely sign it.
Respect to that.
Yeah. Yep. Aircraft carrier deck of a card. Yes.
It is.
It's not wrong.
We can relate on that, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Good one.
I dig it. This is actually a great angle to take a look at. When we're talking about that ventilation, those 4 fans in the back are going to be pushing air in towards us. The 3 on the bottom are pushing the air up, and it's going to be doing that angle, so it's going to create that circular vortex that's going to be pulled out those 2 fans in the back, which should make for an extremely cool gaming environment. Not just awesome, but cool. That was terrible.
No, you terrible. Keep it. No, that was solid. This is like, it's just expected. You're just going to keep banging them out.
Yeah,
they're
right.
so good.
There we go. Cosworth mentions a friend of a friend pulled his card out of his case back in the day and ripped the PCI slot off the board.
Holy dude.
By the power of grade school.
Right?
You don't even say, this is coming out.
Right?
That's what he's saying.
Oh my gosh, I'm done with you. Of course, the thing he was trying to keep was the board and not the card. Oh my god, that sucks.
Not anymore.
Dog the bounty hunter come and repossess the graphics card.
It's mine now. I don't know why I went southern with that. No clue. But yes. Dog Eyes, hello over on the green side. Welcome in. Naganis, good to see you. Cajun Diesel Man.
I like that name.
Right? There's something about that that's just, it's strong. It's a strong, that is a strong name right there.
It is.
I dig it.
I just need to know the story behind that one day. We'll see.
Right? By the way, if you guys want any more information about the Anthros chairs, so we're going to be going into some detailed specs here shortly. You definitely want to check out anthros.com. That is ANTH ROS, like Ant Cross. Actually, there's no way to shorten that out and make it reasonable. Yeah, he's a diesel tech in college from Louisiana. Well, listen, that explains everything.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah, the Louisiana thing. That's the one thing I miss about Louisiana is the gator.
Gators.
Oh God, Cajun gator. Man, if it's prepared right.
I was born in Gulfport, Mississippi, so
you. Oh, there we go. So you understand.
Yeah, I understand a lot. Gator.
Gator jambalaya. Oh my Lord.
Gator.
I will be a fat baby with with some gator jambalaya. That is a just eat it while you can. Yeah. That's so good. Thanks for putting us onto a food rant there, Diesel Man, because now I'm hungry. Will Ferrell as Gator. Let's see here. Okay, so here's what I want to do. While he's finishing up this tie-up, I want to show you guys something really, really fun. And normally it's where we'd go to our website, but instead, we're going to show you a video. I want to talk a little bit about these chairs, and Tryhard is going to be explaining certain pieces of this technology. Let's jump into the video. We're going to pause it in a few spots. So first of all, this, of course, is our PC that's a giveaway. You can see at the very, very top, those fine tech lines, all the electric lines, they match the back of this chair. And
yeah,
you can
actually, circuit board. It's a very cool.
It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. Now pause it right here if you can. So there are multiple different controls on these chairs. How many different ways does this move?
Yeah, so there's 4 controls. It's actually really simple. There's 2 in the front and then 2 in the back, as you can see. There's the one on the front left actually controls a locking mechanism to lock the chair on a tilting back and forth.
Gotcha.
The back left actually controls the upper back, and then the back right controls the lower back, and then the front controls the tension of your tilt, which is great. This is a game changer. That when you can tilt and change the tension to your weight, then it balances it perfectly. It's phenomenal.
I completely agree, and of course you can see there that the pelvis.
Yeah,
I would say support. So let's pause real quick right here. So remember what we were talking about sinking into that fetal position. And anybody who's in a car is going to go driving within the afternoon is going to be like, I am doing this. You're in traffic, your hips are always forward, and that's why your lower back hurts. So taking a look at this, you can see what that posturing looks like. And as we go and reinforce the upper glutes and that your lower hip flexors,
pushes it straight forward.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep. Now, can we back it up for just one second? Because I want to show everybody something that lots of people don't know, and the only reason I know this is because I used to do it for a living.
Yeah.
When you're sitting up straight and you've got that angle, the reason your lumbar spine comes back like this, and your thoracic comes out, and your cervical comes up, is because the body is built from the hips up like a spring. So once you're balanced, there's no need to feel it's so much more comfortable. You just have to get used to the fact that you've been sitting wrong for ever. And that's why it's so important.
There's actually like a week of when you first get the chair where your back's like, oh wow, this is amazing. Like it hurts a little bit, but it's like a really good hurt because you're sitting with the actual posture. And this is the chair. This is the only chair on the market that's FDA approved. And actually, you can use your FSA and HSA insurance to purchase the chair. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Now I really, really want one.
Yeah, I'll definitely help you out because your back is not doing well, and this is the chair that will definitely improve that over time. That's what a lot of people you're talking about. That's what happens to you.
That's right there. That's a perfect example in the video.
Yep.
So everybody check your posture right now. Check your posture. How are you sitting? Right? Now I'm really going to add that as a command in my chat. But yeah, this is a great example. And now some chairs will have what they call a little bit of a lumbar groove, but the thing is, and I'll say this about my chair, it's got one setting, it's in one spot, and it's, for me, too low. And
yeah,
so
it doesn't fit.
Yeah, but now this is another one of yours.
Yeah, no, this is not our chair. That was actually showing in real time what those chairs do to you.
Yeah.
It makes you get we call it like a shrimp. You're turning into a shrimp. And then this is what our chair does to you. It pushes that pelvis forward. It makes your back straight with your body. It's the best feeling ever.
Genius.
Yeah.
It's genius.
It's a game changer. I've had this chair since December of last year. I have had 0 tailbone pain, 0 leg numbing, and my back has improved a ton. Like, I stand up straight more when I sit down on other chairs. I'm sitting straight up. It's just a normal, reaction to my back now. I don't go to bed with lower back pain like I used to. Those have all gone away from this chair. And it's just been phenomenal to experience, because the chairs I had before that, I would have to get up every couple hours and walk around because my tailbone were hurt.
Every hour.
For you.
Every hour. Everybody's like, why do you always stop on the hour? I'm like, because I need to get up, move, walk around for a second. But yeah.
So that open. And another thing, the back opens up. I just popped my back. So I'm stretching. My chest is fully open, and I legitimately just popped my back in my chair. Like, what chair can you do that in?
That's also that's a great example of how it opens your rib cage. If you're sitting up straight, you have a greater expansion of your lungs, which gives you a higher level of oxygenation when you're gaming.
Yep, exactly. It allows you to think faster, quicker, gives you full range of motion. That was the first thing I noticed when I sit down at the computer, my arm I can move. I'm not being hugged by a chair that makes me sit like this, It gives me the full range of motion, and the arms of the chair go so far down in a way that it will never interrupt me getting close to the table in the position I want to sit in.
Fantastic.
So that's another thing I immediately noticed when I sat down was the full range of motion. There's no chair that allows me to move my elbows back and forth without hitting the back of the chair. And that is one of the best.
Yeah, actually, now that you said that.
I know, right? These things we don't think about because no one's trading chairs for gamers. Yeah. No one. The DX Racer chair came to life because someone who owns a car industry chair company is like, oh, we have all these extra chairs. Let's turn them into computer chairs. That's it. There's no science behind it. There's science behind our monitors. There's science behind our computers, as we just watched, that amazing build. There's science behind our mouse and keyboards. They're wireless now. Our headsets, wireless. Right. Nice. But we're sitting in a chair that's over 10 years old that hurts our body. It just doesn't make sense. So
especially, I don't know how old you are, but you're my age.
37. 37, 38. So, yeah.
Anthros.com. There we go. Just for anybody who's wanted to check it out, it's anthros.com. So, and the pressure relieving cutouts. Now, this is something I have questions about.
Yes.
So how does this work?
So this is a patent made by the founder engineer. It distributes the pressure of sitting. So the biggest thing about chairs is distributing the pressure in the seat, right? And when the one you're sitting on, that's kind of like the see-through fabric, that actually provides the most pressure. Because it's like a trampoline. When you sit on something that is like netting, it's actually like a trampoline. It's putting pressure back into you. It's not just distributing it. So you got to think about the cushion of it's so thick. So when you sit in this chair, it distributes the entire sit. There's no pressure coming back into your body that will cause pain and discomfort over time. And the cutouts allow you, because you can see your tailbone or your bottom of your butt, like those bones fit perfectly within it, and there's no discomfort there. So it's all about how thick that cushion is. If you look at Secret Labs and other companies, their cushions are so thin and they're rock hard, and it doesn't make any sense. So
I think there's one called Hamilton they did the Halo chair.
Oh yeah, Hayworth. I had it.
Hayworth.
Yeah.
I sat down in that for 4 seconds. Nope. No.
Same.
No.
And their back is so weird. It pinched me a couple times. And they want $1,500 for this chair. $1,500 that has a cushion that's like that thin.
Yep.
And it feels like it's going to fall apart.
Now, there's one thing that you mentioned earlier that's really awesome is that these are also customizable.
Yeah.
So we've got a back that's matching this for ours, but you can do custom things for customers and clients.
Yeah. So if you have a gaming computer, like gaming area, you can have these really cool, fiber, or circuit board, right? There's carbon fiber and circuit board, but there's also like maple wood and all other kinds of backs that could fit in with your deck, your decor of your room. Your wife could have a chair that also just fits, as you can see in that one right there.
Yeah.
That picture. We also are coming out with like custom, backs.
Yeah, there it is.
For like DreamHack. We're esports teams like Basilisk to make some really cool. So our chair is modular. You don't just buy one and that's it. Like PCs, you could switch out the cushions, you could switch out the back plates. If you rip the cushion or the fabric or something, you can order a replacement. It takes 2 bolts to take the bottom cushion off and replace it. It's like it's that easy. Yeah, it's so easy. This chair is really going to disrupt and educate the population on sitting, because like I feel like a lot of these chairs companies are getting away with a lot of like hush, don't tell the consumer, kind of stuff. And we're coming out and like really educating the consumers like, hey, these chairs actually are the only product that at your computer could hurt you, and if you don't know the science behind it and the information behind it, you're legitimately just buying products that are all coming from the same factory in China or Singapore, and our chair is built in America, which is really cool. So it's an American-made product.
That's fantastic to hear.
Yeah,
that's fantastic to hear. And so so they start around 1,800.
Yeah, 1,800 to 2,000, depending on the customization. 12-year warranty.
12-year warranty.
Yeah. Yep, 30-day trial.
Wait.
You can really we say sit to believe, and when you sit down, you really believe, and you're like, okay, I never want to sit at anything else ever again. And it's like the same with the mattress. When I talk to people, I use this analogy that's really good. It's like, okay, how many hours do you sleep a night? Oh, I sleep 6 hours. Okay, cool. How much do you spend on your mattress? Oh, I spend about $5,000 to $8,000. Usually, that's kind of like if you're really invested in your sleep, right? That's what people spend. And then you go, okay, well, how many hours do you sit a day? Well, I sit about 8 to 12 hours a day. Okay, what'd you spend on your chair? Oh, about a couple $100. And I'm just like, well, there's your problem. You're spending 12 to 14 hours a day or 8 hours a day in a chair. That's hurting your body. And then you go to your $8,000 bed and your body's already hurt, and it's not going to do anything for you. And you're only sleeping 6 hours. So you're sitting longer than you actually are sleeping, and you're spending more money on the bed. So like, you got to really, it's like the shoe, you got to invest in what you're using the most. And if you're sitting a lot, you really need to look into that, because it could really hurt your body over time.
Your butt will tell the truth.
Yeah. That's a really cool statistic. Gamers sit about 27 years of their life on average. That's a long time of sitting. So
that's terrifying.
I mean, I'm probably way above that, because I work all day sitting, and then I'll be gaming with the friends at night, and I'm just sitting even longer. So I have to agree. Like, that's 12-year warranty is
awesome. That's incredible right there.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
Well, so to invest that kind of money, man, you got to have something to back up the quality, and we have really good quality. These are high-end products, and material. It's when you see it and you feel it, it's heavy, it's built to last. It's not just a piece of plastic with some foam on it.
Yeah, it's study driven. It's definitely study. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Dieselman says truck driver hours, sitting in the truck driving for so many. Yeah, I've sat in a couple different tractor, like the tractor, the semi,
Yeah.
seats, those things have got more adjustments than you could possibly shake a stick at.
Yeah.
It's wild. But again, you're sitting there for 12, 15 hours driving. You got to make sure that your legs aren't going numb.
Yeah, exactly. Totally, and the impact that they get too from the road on their back has to be distributed too. That's a lot of impact.
And the idiots who try and brake check them. That's also a problem.
God, yeah. I respect truck drivers. I give them every bit of the road.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. One thing I definitely saw when I was going across the northern I-84 route, because you got I-80 and it's just all the way across there like mad. So how often should you clean your PC is the question coming in from Headstrong Inc. Hello, Headstrong. How are you? Zach.
Yes, it really depends on like kind of how much we're using and what we actually what our environment is like. If we are playing in an air-conditioned room that is well ventilated and it's just you in there and you have some nice filters on your HVAC system, you know, you won't have to do much. But if you have a couple rugrats running around, if you got some kitty cats or some doggies, puppy doggies, you know, there's going to be a little bit of fur dander in the air. Or if we are indoor smokers, that is really sticky to get that cleaned off. But a lot of cases will have stuff like vents that you can pull out and clean out. Make it really simple to just blow off and clean off. But if we're getting into actual cleaning of devices, if we're getting in and cleaning fans out, we don't want to just take our can of air and blast into the fan to get all the nice gunkiness out of it. We want to stick a finger, a fork, something plastic in there to where it won't spin the blades, because we can't hyper spin our fan itself and actually have it disconnect from the hub. It will still look solid like it's working, but when we plug it in and turn the system on, it will just sit there. It won't do anything. That is because it's been disconnected, because it's been spun too quickly and broke. So if we are cleaning, just stick something into the fans to blow them out. My favorite thing to do is dryer sheets. If you have dryer sheets, like some people, I don't know, kids these days probably don't know what a dryer sheet is. But if you have dryer sheets, those are pretty nice and convenient to just have there, and you can peel those out and throw them away. It's like the mud masks on race cars drivers. On rally racing.
That's cool. I have a question for you. So when I clean my computer, I stop the fan because I was scared it would generate electricity if it's spun too fast. Is that also a thing if you're blowing a certain part of a component? I don't know. I don't know if that's just theory or not, or just me being crazy, but
I have seen them generate power before, but those were like pretty old fans, so
okay.
Better safe than sorry, especially with today's fans being like $60 a fan or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool.
That's wow. Cosworth mentions there's a video on the internet of a guy blowing his case out with compressed air, and the fan spun so much it ignited the stream from the air of the can. What?
That's what I thought. That's why I saw some stuff on TikTok with people blowing, and it caused static electricity or something. Yeah.
TikTok is like Reddit.
It is. It's like a flood of disinformation. It's insane.
Yeah. It's kind of a wild thing. So, for games, we've got a whole list of games that are coming up here in the next several months. What are you looking forward to?
Man, I saw a lot of the awesome Nintendo announcements, like Zelda, the new Metroid.
Right.
Oh man, those look really, really good. So I'm really excited for the new Nintendo franchise releases that are coming out. The new Final Fantasy also looks really good. But yeah, those are the ones I'm keeping an eye out for right now.
Nice. I know that we've got some new events coming up for like Dying Light and Dying Light 2, which is still, the fact that Dying Light is over 10 years old. No, it's 10 years old, and it's still rocking. Is incredible.
You know, it's a good game when it lasts a decade.
Right? Yeah. Absolutely awesome. So that's kind of what I've been just kind of hanging out doing. I know that today I'm going to be playing some Rainbow Six Siege because I haven't played in a week. And I need to not suck.
You gotta get some Siege in.
Right now, I actually dropped in performance. I am now in the top 4% of players in Siege for the shortest lifespan.
I just hit top 1% on CS2 ranking. So.
Is that for fastest death or is that for accomplishments? Because mine is shortness of life. Like, I get out there and I will do something real stupid or get spawn peeked. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. Man, spawn peeks on Rainbow Six Siege are a thing I've had to for so long. Just remember. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Zach, what happened?
I just broke a SATA.
Uh-oh.
Luckily, EVGA knew that I would be destroying something today, so they sent me 3.
Perfect.
Ooh, save.
Exactly. I know there's a Steam summer sale going on right now for anybody who's into the PC gaming. There's a whole bunch of things that are just wildly off. Borderlands 3. There's a ton of them.
Yeah.
Resident Evils. Now, I love me some horror games.
Me too.
Oh, gosh. Have you played Outlast Trials?
I haven't played that one yet, but I heard good things about it.
It's really good. I think the first real... I think the first real game that made me just panic and scream was the original Outlast. That was... Because you can't do anything. It is run, hide, or die.
Yeah.
That's really all you've got. So, that was my first time ever with one of those.
I love the Dead Space games too. Those were really good. Oh man,
they get so
Bioshock. Those were good. Yeah.
Dead Space always gets so hectic because you get them coming out of everywhere
and the pipes and the walls, and
you're just. Oh my lord!
You know, like.
Yeah, that is nuts. Bioshock. I've got a story about Bioshock. If you guys want to hear it, it's hilarious. So, back when we got our TV ages ago, back when 3D was like the new thing, right? And it came with active shutter glasses. So, my housemate left, and I'm like, cool. I think he was in Vegas or something. So I took my 360 upstairs, plugged it in, and you know how the 360s had the 3D mode on certain games, and it came with the glasses. Mm-hmm. So I could use their glasses and not have to use the active shutters. So I plugged that thing in and then realized the active shutters actually did a better job. So I put those on and flipped it. Bioshock was is always a fun game until you're playing it in the dark in 3D with surround sound.
Oh, yeah.
And it becomes an absolute
simulation.
Nightmare. Oh my gosh.
Nightmare simulation.
Because they are coming at you. And, nope, both of my dogs left the room. They were like, and we're out.
I felt like that with Half-Life Alyx, when you went into the sewer and everything was dark and all you had was the flashlight, dude. I almost broke my thumb trying to kill a head sucker because I ran out of ammo. I hit my table in my living room.
Oh my gosh.
That was wild.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. What else is a good scary game that I mean what was that video camera game where you had to open up it was Blair Witch that came out?
Oh yeah, the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. What was that game though? That you could only
Paranormal?
see through was it Paranormal? I don't know.
Yeah.
That might be it.
God, that game was scary as heck. You're in a sane asylum and that was what was that?
God.
Do you know?
That is going to drive me nuts.
Hopefully chat can assist on us.
Can you help us out? The old guys are having memory issues.
I'm 40. I need help.
Right? I got you beat by about 11 years, so.
You got me. Okay. You look great for your age.
Thank you.
You look really good.
We're like, what is your secret?
Routine.
I play video games.
That's what keeps us young. I love it.
Dude, I said that to a bunch of people at the at a high school reunion. They're like, dude, what happened? I thought you were gonna age. I said, yeah, well, I didn't think I was gonna be playing video games for a living. What do you do? Well, I went into accounting. Well, hope you don't work on a higher floor. The evil.
Yeah, that's why
right?
you got gray hair.
right. Five Nights at Freddy's. It might be Outlast that he's thinking of, because Outlast had the camera that it's all a night vision, but Outlast. The flashlight only has. Yeah, it was Outlast 1 then.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Evil Within or something like that was another really good one I just remembered.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good one.
Cajun was mentioning that.
Mm-hmm.
I have Alien Isolation. I've been told that is a really good. Is it good?
Yeah, it's slow but good. Like, you got to be really strategic through the game. It's not like a go shoot smash kind of game.
Yeah. Let's see here, and we've also Fear. Oh yeah, Fear was great.
When that game came out, that broke physics. Like that was a high end of high end games when that came out.
Yeah.
Holy crap. The slow-mo, that's where slow-mo came from. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was the first slow-mo game. And then what was it? Max Payne came right after that. I'm pretty sure.
And then you had if you were surrounded, you had the ability to do that in Medal of Honor. The old 360 Medal of Honor.
Oh yeah, the bullet time.
Yeah. Yep.
I feel like I have to Google. I'm pretty sure Fear was the first bullet time slow motion game, or Max Payne. I can't.
It would have been Max Payne.
It's weird that it's so funny when you can remember when things like that, we know. Like Black was the game that I got with my 360. No, I'm sorry, with my Xbox, original Xbox. And that game I was not used to sneak. You've got to be careful. So you had to learn to sneak because you're so used to just go running into a game. Nope. You got to be very quiet, very strategic. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think I ever beat Black. But I did play it on my 360.
Okay. I have a trivia question now that I know. What year did Pain come out, or Fear?
Fear?
Yeah, what do you think?
I want to say it was 2000, maybe.
Okay.
Because it was if I'm not mistaken, it started on PS2.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was late 90s, early 2000s.
I thought it came out on PC.
Oh, it might be.
Yeah. Oh,
or
wow.
Early.
Okay. So
95.
So Fear came out 2005. And then Max Payne came out actually 2001. So Max Payne was the originator on bullet time. So
that's wild.
So 2001, was that PlayStation? I'm pretty sure it's PlayStation 2.
Yeah, because Xbox
PS2.
didn't come out until the end of 01.
So Max Payne, PlayStation 2, first bullet time slow motion game. See if there's a.
And that wasn't on PC?
No, it was on PC and PS2. It was on both. I have the original.
So I remember Robert, my uncle. He thoroughly enjoyed Max Payne. He was a big thief. He liked Thief. Alan Wake.
That's
Alan
right.
Wake was the one. Alan Wake. Yeah.
Oh, Alan Wake is awesome. Alan Wake is amazing. Brandon Gossett on the TikTok says, "What's better, PC gaming or PS5?" PC gaming all the way.
Oh, all the way. You can 100% on PS5 and more on PC.
Yeah. Yep. Dang. Thief. I haven't thought about Thief in ages.
Oh, freak. Thief. Yeah, Thief was a really good one.
Yeah.
I remember when that hit.
Like, gotta stay hidden.
On a
That was like
PS4?
Sly.
Yeah, I feel
Sly
like Assassin's Creed overshadowed the crap out of Thief.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, well, here's a question for you. What is your favorite AC? What's your favorite Assassin's Creed?
It's gonna have to be the one I just finished. I put like 150 hours into it. It was the Black Flag was really good, but this one was the one with like the Romes. What is it called?
The Spartan one. Odyssey.
Odyssey, yeah.
Odyssey
was amazing, man. I mean,
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed too much of it. I put 150 hours into that game. It was so good.
I loved history when I was growing up, and especially anything that was that had to do with. I'm looking for a word in my head, and I'm suddenly blanking. That's what happens when you get old. It's my favorite series out of the whole group is the Ezio trilogy. Yeah. I think it is the most brilliantly written, and the mechanics are great. Mm-hmm. But it goes through all real-time historical events that happened, in the Renaissance. Good Lord, DJ, get it together.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
But, yeah.
That was a really good one. I mean, it's just so realistic that Odyssey was just like the story was so good. Being in the Roman year, being a gladiator, that was super cool. The boat, the God, it was like the boat riding plus the horse. I mean, yeah, they did a phenomenal job on that game.
Yeah, absolutely. We're getting down to the final moments here. Now, one of the neat things about this case is something that we like to call, or we often Paul and I refer to as a 2/3 or a 3/4. This is more like a 3/4 case, and the reason for that is because the motherboard doesn't sit directly on the back of the case, so you've got a space between your actual back panel, which is great for all of your cable management, allows you to get things where they need to go. But the difficulty is with 12 fans, there's a lot of cables.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Yep. My girlfriend loves playing Valhalla. Okay, one of my best friends is a Valhalla free. That's all he ever wants to play is Valhalla. It's his de-stressor.
Yeah. Okay. It's a really good one. I played probably about 10 plus hours of it right now. For me, it's a little harder to get into compared to the last one, the Syndicate, or the not Syndicate, but the Freak. I can't remember the name of it. All of a sudden, that's us being old.
Right.
Yep, that one. Yep, of course he does.
Right.
Yeah. Literally, the two I've not played. I stopped playing after Syndicate because I didn't like the way the story. Because I
couldn't.
I am an assassin. And I did not like the way they moved the story after a while. I was like, man, you guys are like ruining the game.
It was hard to follow the story after a while. I'm not going to lie. It got a little funky, and that's when I was like, I just want to, I was more worried about just like having a really good game, and a story with the Romes and stuff, like, that was really cool to me. Just the whole Rome world fight. So.
Let's see. Assassin's Creed 3 was the one where you're in the American Revolution. Yeah, that one. And then there was Black Flag, which Black Flag by far is one of the most uniquely specific games I've ever played, and I absolutely love it. I'm waiting for the remaster on PC to get it.
Me too.
Then there was Rogue. Oh, Unity. Unity was the one where you could have up to 4. You were in France. That's right.
Didn't play Unity. I didn't mess with that one. I skipped that one.
I'm gonna be honest. It works now. It did not work for a very long time. You would desync and suddenly end up across the map. Yeah, and the whole squad would lose.
So
because you're not all in the same spot.
Cyberpunk, the release of Cyberpunk.
Yes. Cyberpunk was cyber annoying.
It was bad. Apparently, it's an amazing game now. I have to revisit it, but
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
what my friends say. They optimized it and finished it.
Couple people can't wait to get me a crazy PC. That'll be awesome. We have Splinter Cells were all
Cells.
great. Loved that.
Those
Silent
were
Hill.
good. Yep.
Loved Silent Hills.
God, dude, that's like one of the top horror games right there. That was like Resident Evil, Silent Hill were like the big ones on PlayStation.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of my really good friends at the time, Kate, she and I, we'd just do a bunch of us would go to the house, go to her apartment, and we would just become and have a couple drinks, sit there, and then we would take turns playing in the dark Silent Hill, and then trying to figure out all of the puzzles and stuff, right? And then it became this group effort to try and not die. Which
the word triangle head never thought it would be scary until you started playing.
Yep.
Or pyramid head, not triangle head. Pyramid head.
Pyramid head, yeah. I'm
was
sad that the
break.
movies sucked.
Yeah.
It was-
I'm sad the movies were terrible.
Spring break for us, and that's what my buddies did. Is we loaded when Resident 5 came out. One of us was good at shooting, not me, because I like doing this while shooting. Not this. I can't do this with stuff coming at me. It's like, no, get out of here. And he was terrible at the puzzles. So he did all of the action stuff, and I did all the puzzle stuff. And we
That's such a cool team.
beat it on spring break.
That's so cool. I love that.
That's fantastic.
That's what I loved about Resident Evil. It's just like it really made you play mechanically, but think like
The
super deep.
puzzles.
Yeah, so fun. And when you figure it out, it's such a phenomenal gratification of figuring out a puzzle.
Yeah. Now I do have Mirage, by the way. Don't go back to Assassin's Creed. I do have Mirage, and I have not gotten started with it. I've been
Never did that one. Yeah,
because it just came out, last year. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the. Is that the Japanese? Like the.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that one looks good.
Look at that tie-up job. My gosh.
I don't know how you got all that in there from like 5 minutes ago. It looked like 100 cords sticking out of the back. So
yeah,
that's really impressive.
He's good at what he does. This is a chunky and heavy case, by the way. So we'll start getting this all put back together once we get our brain parts anti-sag bracket in. There we go.
That's clean.
It's super.
It's already sagging a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell.
What's up? Big chunky card.
Gosh, what a big boy.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm assuming that Zeus is still in here, but jeez. Now this, of course, plugs in here and it goes over the top of your grommets, so that you've got LEDs, which is going to be really, really cool. And that'll all plug up to the top and kind of close off that area underneath the... Zeus is still here. Oh, yeah. Yo.
I mean, he's watching his baby. How can he leave?
Right?
His baby is being born right now.
The creation.
Lab. Designed in the lab.
Right. Oh my gosh. There we go. And of course, I am going to jump back to one of my favorite games ever, and that is Dying Light and Dying Light 2.
I really enjoyed Dying Light. I haven't got Dying Light 2 yet, but I was really impressed with the first one and the mechanics and just the engineering of the weapons and stuff was really cool.
Electric Hunter Function over on TikTok says, "Hey, quick question. What's up?"
Blue sky. That is
Right.
triple digits outside. Triple digit blue sky.
Yep, triple digits here in Texas, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, I don't even want to look. I mean, I can't really complain. I'm in Oregon, for heaven's sake. Yeah, it is 66 here. we're gonna hit 80 on Friday. But it's one of the things I like about Oregon, man. It doesn't get too hot. It doesn't get too cold. It just kind of sits and floats. We'll get about a week or two where we triple digits, and then we may get a couple of weeks of maybe 1 to 2 weeks if we're lucky of snow. But other than that, we just kind of sit in the middle. So Electric Hunter's question is, I upgraded my CPU and I had to reset my password, but my PC wouldn't detect my Ethernet. What could it be? Ooh.
You resetted your PC and your Wi-Fi or your Ethernet doesn't work?
No, he said he resetted his CPU.
He upgraded the CPU, and so yeah.
And then his PC password's not working. That's wild.
Yeah.
He reset his password, and he did reset. I was stuck on the login thing. Interesting. That is a good question.
Replacing a hardware piece like that should not reset or mess with your operating system.
If it's a CLX system, I would call in and see what customer support can do for you. Because that shouldn't be too crazy.
Yeah. If it has Wi-Fi, try connecting via Wi-Fi and then seeing if there's an Ethernet update, maybe. Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, bio update or something.
Look at this thing. This is a monster of a PC.
Gosh, look how many fans.
Oh, yeah. 12 fans on this baby. It's going to take flight.
Dude, is that a drone or is that a PC? I can't tell.
That is 3 seconds from being Skynet. Good Lord.
I love computers, man.
Right?
Such a cool thing.
This is going to be rad. All right, now we're going to get our panels back on. It's 91 in Louisiana. There you go.
What's
87
the though?
Yeah, there's a... Yeah, at least we don't have, the absolutely ridiculous humidity. Like, I remember Florida.
Gosh, dude. Oh, my Lord.
I love you, Nicole, but I could never live there again. No. I lived there during the Navy, and I got used to it finally. Yeah. But no.
Not me. Not happening. I lived in Missouri. I know what humidity is like. It's not as bad as Florida, but Missouri has pretty crappy weather. You get all the seasons in Missouri. But Texas, I love the dry heat. I can live with that. There's no snow, so I've lived with enough snow in my life. I'm good with that. Pass on it.
Texas it's raining in the winter time, and if it was 10 degrees cooler, it might be snow. So it's not a dry winter. It's wet, and you're miserable with it. At least I was. I was riding my bike.
Wet, then ice, and 4
People
feet,
that
5
don't
feet
know
of
how to
snow.
drive on ice.
Yeah.
There we go. We're almost in there. Humidity is great for your skin. That I will agree with. There we go. Get that latched all in there. Okay, so here's your...
I'll get the PC.
It's too big.
So Zeus, here's the thing. Don't take the back off.
I wonder how much that bad boy weighs. It's got to be 100 pounds.
Honestly, these are already... the case alone is already heavy enough. Yeah. What if I told you there are humid places that don't also actively try to kill you? Okay. Well, I mean, that.
That's a thing.
It's like Perth. I would move to Perth. I love the weather in Perth. But man, summers in Australia, oh my Lord. Now that's heat.
Never been.
Oh my gosh.
We cooking?
And you could just literally throw a steak on the hood of your car and cook it.
Jeez, man.
Yep. Let's see. Anybody have any other questions regarding the Anthros chairs? At all? We've got an opportunity.
You got the guy to talk to you about it.
And don't forget, if you'd like to know more information about it on your own, check it out. It's anthros.com. That's ANTHROS.com. I was going to wonder about that. Just laying it down flat.
There it is.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Zach, you are a godsend for this. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Get that PC in your room. I don't know where that came from, but I'm not
good. I want to know what game Zeus is going to play on this bad boy.
Right?
If he's there.
Naman asks a great question. Are those chairs good for people with scoliosis?
I am not professional on that. So, but from my understanding, it is it's built for health. So if you're having bad pain, and it's gonna help it. Like I don't know exactly. Like I'm not a doctor. I can't sit there and tell you, but that's why we have these 30-day plus free trials. So just jump on that and try it out. And if you want some more information, we have physical therapists actually in the company that you could reach out to, and they will help you and figure out the right information you need to make that purchase. So we have a great support team.
That's awesome. And definitely check out the website, anthros.com, for more information. You can do so and find yourself something new to sit in that isn't going to make your back funky like mine is right now.
What a monkey!
Yep. Okay. Now, this is going to be really great once we get this turned on.
The moment of truth.
And then once the show is over, everybody, we are not going to have a after show today. But so I'm going to be jumping on my channel immediately. We've got codes to give out. We're going to go and raid me. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing some Rainbow Six Siege. You'll get to see exactly how quickly I can die and whether or not I can pull off a random moment of joy.
Oh, you're going to win. You're going to first game dub. I believe.
I believe I can die. Oh, wait. Are you ready, Zach? Right. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
First stage on. It all starts to light up, slowly but surely.
The thermal.
Keep in mind, we don't have an operating system. Look at that! Oh my gosh, dude!
Wow.
Zeus, your PC is wicked, bro. What?
That is
sick.
Awesome.
Absolutely wild.
The video card is. I've never seen lights like that.
Yeah, the 40 grill. Series?
Yeah, that grill is so fire.
That is incredible. Look at that. Geez, you got and even for the subtlety of those fans, it's still so vibrant. That's an incredible selection. Nicely done. Congratulations to Zeus in chat. Your PC is now going to go to testing. So, Zach, where's it going to go and what's going to happen?
Yes, from here, I will go take it back to my desk and fast field it. That's done all on my phone. And what that is our in-house accountability program. And Zeus will get email pictures of it built like this. And that just shows the customer that, hey, this is your system, this is what it looks like. That's a perfect opportunity to be like, oh, hey, I see that I would like some more fans or something. Then you can definitely get a hold of us and add more. But after I fast field it.
Please don't add more fans.
Yeah, after I fast field it, all of our systems go into testing and they get Prime 95, benchmarked, all of the fun testings for 12 hours long, unless it's an open loop. Our open loops get burned in for probably about 2 days. Make sure that all the air bubbles are out of them and make sure there are no leaks and just that everything's running great.
In our testing department, that is also where we overclock all of our systems. If you want to overclock your processor or overclock your graphics card, we can definitely do that for you as well. And then once it gets burned in and tested, then we get it over to our shipping guys and get it out to you.
So that is going to be amazing. Let's go over one more time what's inside this incredible PC for our friend Zeus. Cody in Ohio. Here we go. This is a raw NV7 full tower in black. It's got an Intel Core i9-14900K processor mounted on an Asus ROG Strix Z790E Wi-Fi motherboard. It has 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 RAM along with a ROG Strix GeForce RTX 4090 Overclock Edition. The operating system is going to be on a 2TB GameX XPG SSD M.2. Our processor is going to be cooled by a Leon Lee Galahad 2 LCD 360 closed-loop liquid cooler along with 12 Thermaltake Ring RGB LED fans, and it's all powered by a 1000-watt EVGA Supernova 80 Plus Gold along with something a little extra, the Fantex 5.5-inch high-res Uni LCD display, 8K. So, absolutely incredible build. Thank you so much for being here. Try hard. We super appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This was phenomenal. I learned so much and got to see this amazing PC built. So, this is sick.
It's just something kind of joyous.
Yes, the giveaway
Zach, well
is
done.
international.
Yes, it is, Naman. So, once again, the show happens every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 11 a.m. Pacific. That's 2 Eastern. We do drop codes on the green side. That's kick.com/CLXgaming on Tuesdays. On Thursdays, you can find them on twitch.tv/CLXgamingtv. You also can find them while catching up on the latest and greatest of everything about CLX Gaming at our socials. That's YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Facebook at CLX Gaming. You can also find some possibly in our Discord with a whole bunch of like-minded PC enthusiasts and gamers. That's discord.gg/CLX Gaming. The other place you can find them is on my stream, and we'll be going there here in just a few minutes. So on behalf of everybody here at CLX Tryhard, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
That was absolutely awesome. And introducing us to these incredible chairs. So, on behalf of Kyle and Jason Production, Zach up front, I'm DJ Blue PDX. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you Tuesday.
Bye.